Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Comedians!
Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones, going through the customs at Heathrow Airport. The customs official said, have you got any LSD on you? Purple hearts, cannabis? I said, no, what made you ask? He said, well, he got here half an hour before the plane.
Did you hear about the hippie? He was out of his mind on LSD, and he's on top of this block of flats saying, I'm a jumbo jet, I'm a jumbo jet, I'm a jumbo jet. And he dived off the top. And halfway down, two other hippies hijacked him and flew him to Cuba.
Woman goes to the doctor, she said, Doctor, examine me, examine me. He examined her, he said, there's nothing wrong with you. He said, you've got jelly in one ear and custard in the other. She said, could you speak up? I'm a trifle deaf.
I don't know. What about that fella that died and his mate went to see him and he's stretched out there in this box and he said to the widow, he said he doesn't half look happy, you know, because he was smiling. She said, wait till he wakes up, we don't know he's dead yet.
One yank went touring around Ireland and he ended up watching the fellas digging peat in the fields. He said, what are you doing? He said, we're digging for pizza. Yeah, yes, we are. The American said, what's that thing over there? He said, that's a mechanical shovel. The American said, we got bigger teaspoons in America. The Irish fella said, no wonder, look at the size of your gob. Yeah, but about Ted Eats getting knighted at the birthday honours. Can you imagine him? The Queen stood there in a sou'west and a pair of wellies. Can you imagine it? And him kneeling there in a slutch. And she gets the sword out and she puts it on his right shoulder. Rise, Sir Edward. Doesn't budge. Puts it on his left shoulder. Rise, Sir Edward. And he still doesn't budge. So she planted it on his head. Rise, Sir Edward. The little postman in the crowd shouted, get him to get up! He doesn't know what a rise is! One fella from Fords went to the Dole. He went to the Dole for a job, to the Labour Exchange. Got the sack from Rolls-Royce. You know, where they make these aero engines. Fella said, what did you get the sack for? He said, it was too tow out. He said, they give you this sack for being too tow out? He said, yes. He said, what department do you work? He said, the accounts.
The Lions were playing the ants in the middle of the jungle football. And the Lions was all over these ants, winning 3-0. But the little wide-head ants fetched a centipede on half-time. Played the game of its life, scored 14 goals. And they're running off at full time, and the Lions captain ran over to this ant, this centipede. He said, I've never seen such fantastic football in my life. I wish he didn't come out in the first half. He said, I was putting my boots on. Hairdresser's winner in Liverpool, Beatle haircut, sixpence. This fellow went in, he cut all his hair off. He said, hey, pal, they said the Beatles don't have their haircut like this. He said, they do if they come in here. Fellow talking to his mate, he said, I've had a lot of bad luck, he said, with marriage. He said, I wouldn't get married again. He said, I've been married twice. A lot of bad luck. He said, why? He said, well, first wife died eating poisoned mushrooms. What about your second wife? He says, fractured skull. He said, how was that? He said, she wouldn't eat your mushrooms. Fellow walks in this pub, pinches a boomerang off the wall, and the landlord cops him, and he shoved it up his jumper, you know. Slung him out 78 times. Fellow walks in the doctor. He said, how do I stand, doctor? He said, you live to be 80. He says, I'm 80. He says, what'd I tell you? 2 Irishmen playing bingo. He shouts, 7 and 7, 77. He says, Patrick, you got that, mark it off. Look at that. 2 and 2, 22. He said, you've got that, look at that, mark it off. 2 and 8, 28. He says, look at that, you've got that as well. He says, why don't you mark your own card? He says, mine's full up. Amy Bloomberg's telling his wife, he says, Becky, when my brother asks you where we went for our holidays, don't tell him we just went to Blackpool, tell him we went abroad, spent a lot of money, had a wonderful time. Harry comes in, he says, how do you like Blackpool, Becky? She says, Blackpool, schmackpool, we never went to Blackpool. Went to Tenerife, Bermuda, Mallorca, Italy. Me and my Amy, she says, was 3 weeks in Italy, a nice country that Italy, she says. A lovely country, nice people, lovely food. My Amy was speaking with the Pope in the Vatican. He says, is that right, Amy? She says, sure. I'm speaking with the Pope for 25 minutes. A nice fella, that Pope. But her...
Ain't it a lovely night? We all turn out never good. You better do Epsom salts in it, a good laugh, right? It's great. Do you know, though, the bloke went to doctors, it's true this, he went to doctors, so doctor says, can they help you out fruit? He says, I can, lad. He says, well, what's up with it? He said, I ain't been to the toilet for 3 months. He says, that what? He said, I ain't been to the toilet for 3... He said, I'll write in the old sport. Writes him a prescription. You see, he wrote it out. He says, get them down there. Does it well to good. So, lad took him home, has his tea. Thought, right, I'll go to the chemist. So he gets his coat on, you know. Walks down, looks at prescription, 7 stone of Epsom salt, 7 stone. He thought, good God. So he went back for garden barry, you know. A fortnight later, doctor looking at prescription pad, he thought, good God, I've made a right mess of this. 7 stone, it should have been 7 ounce. Aye. Got it car, flying down to the bloke's house, knocks on the door flew open. Bloke's wife's walking downstairs with 2 buckets full, 2 buckets! He said, I'm sorry, lads, I've made a mistake. Is he all right? She says, is he all right? This is 14th bucket, he's been dead a week. Oh, I'm right place you could get it. I am. It went all right. My mother's Yorkshire, you know, my mother. She is I. My dad, anybody's guess, but don't matter. But I'm part Scotch, really. I am, it's true. I am part Scotch. My dad was a colour sergeant at Black Watch. Oh, I'm always talking about folk, you know. But nobody minds, druther, really. You know, it's part and parcel of life, isn't it? You've got to have a bit of fun. I mean, look at me, I was born in early 30s. You know, I'm not sure how to look, hair's going a bit silver. It's with this game, you know, it knocks you up. But I was born and I lived in a terrace row, half a mile long. There weren't there them days, terrace rows, half a mile long. Toilets round back, and that got to be fast. It's true, it's true. Hey, you'd got to motor them days. You'd got to motor, else it were chap legs. Come on. No, but it's true. And hey, you 2 bedrooms, hadn't you? 2 bedrooms, living place and little kitchen, didn't you? With set pot in corner. Hey, set pot. The mother used to be doing washing on a Monday, didn't she? Bless her. Hey, copper full of washing. When she finished washing, she chucked the in for a bath. Same copper on a Tuesday, full of stew. And there were dumplings as big as cauliflower sparkle. Hey, the mum used to say, get the ear in. Ooh. I got more than others because I had thicker lips.
don't know. We were poor at our house as well. Were you poor at your house? Eh? When we were kids, we were poor, you know. I had no choice. That's why I play the banjo now and again, you know, because I took it up when I was a kid and... All together. You'll have me crying in a minute. I did. But, you know, I used to make up my own games. Hands up all the fellas in the audience tonight that used to play with a wheel and a stick. Come on, put your hands up, let's see you. Come on, let's see you. Hands up all those that played with a wheel and a stick when they were kids. Come on, let's see you. Be honest about it. There's one. Look, there's one. And if you had a tyre on it, you were posh, weren't you? Happy days, I don't know. I'll never forget though, because, you know, when you don't have much money, and I remember my mum saying, "Our Kenny," she said, "go to the butcher's and tell him he wants a sheep's head and ask him to leave the legs on." What about that woman? What about that woman in the back garden hanging out the washing and all the trains are going past the end of the fence? And this fella's leaning over the fence and he says, "By gum, Gertie, you don't half look miserable, don't you?" She said, "I know it's my husband, the daft thing. He's got rid of that old bed we had. It was an antique, 100 years old. And he used to be able to curl round all the lumps and bumps. It was very comfortable, you know." And he's got rid of it. And now, with this new one, every time a train passes, I bounce out of bed. He said, "Go on, I don't believe you." She said, "You come in and see." So he come in. She said, "Come on upstairs now and I'll show you." So he went upstairs. She said, "Now I'll get into bed and you watch." So he said, "All right." So she got in bed. She said, "Better still, you get in with me and you'll be able to see for yourself then." And he went, "All right then." That's what he said. He went, "All right." So he got in, and her husband come home and copped him, and he said, "Hey, what's all this?" He said, "You'll never believe this, but we're waiting for a train."
I brought the wife in this morning for a pair of shoes, and the fella trying on the shoes had a bald head. Well, when she looked down and saw the bald head, she thought the knee was out of her stocking. And she threw her frock over it. Well, it was all right till he struck a match to see where he was. That's the way I tell him it. Must be a gift. So the voice from heaven said to the Corinthians, "Do you want the commandments? What are they? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal." Oh no, Corinthians love killing and stealing to the Romans. "Do you want the commandments? What are they? Thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife." You're joking. Hey, you down there, you with the glasses, what's your name? Moses. What tribe do you belong to? To the Jews. Do you want the commandments? How much are they? Nothing. Give us 10.
Did you hear about the Irish navvy who beat his wife to death through his working socks? He got in jail. He said, I'm not staying in here. So he decided to dig his way out. He took a tunnel. It took him 7 years to dig this tunnel. He was only doing 3 months. He escaped, you know. And he met his mate, and he wanted to go back to Ireland. They had no money, so he said, what we'll do, you know, we'll pinch a rowing boat. So they stole this rowing boat, and they're rowing across the Irish Sea. And halfway across, a great big hand came out the river, as big as this warehouse it was. He said, Jesus, Mick, look at the size of that wave. So, go back to Ireland. And he had a row. He said, right, we'll have a duel. Choose your weapons. Pistols at 40 paces, said he. And the fat man said, well, the big fat man, he was a little thin man. Fat man said, no, hang on. He said, I'm a bigger target than you are. And the little tin man said, I'll fix that. So he pulled a piece of chalk out of his pocket, and he drew 2 lines down the fat man. He said, they are now. If the bullets land outside the lines, they don't count. So the 2 fellas jump on a train. You know, he opened the paper. This fellow opened the paper. So he looked across. He seen this chap. He said, I say him, chap. He said, where are you going? He said, going to London. Going to London. Going to London. Where are you going? He said, I'm going to London. He said, what do you do for a living? He said, I'm a navvy. I dig holes. Dig holes and build houses. And in the evening, I'm a telly producer. So what do you do? He said, I'm a solicitor, Docky, you know. Would you like to play a game on the way down? So what do you want to play? He said, I'll ask you a question. If you can't answer it, you give me £1. You ask me a question. If I can't answer it, I'll give you £1. He said, you're not long. Too much up there for me, you have. You're not long. Didn't you? So he said, right, old chap. He said, if I can't answer your question, I'll give you £3. You still give me £1. He said, you're on now. First question, what's got 2 heads, 7 legs, 2 tails, and flies? He said, oh dear me, I don't know. No, here's your £3. What has got 2 heads, 7 legs, 2 tails, and flies? I said, don't know. Here's your £1.
You meet some funny people. I was standing at this pub this afternoon. This fella came in. I didn't know him from Adam, except for the fig leaf. He came walking up the bar. He said, hello there, mate. He said, how you doing then? I said, not so bad. He said, have you heard? I said, what? He said, have you heard about poor old Bill? I said, Bill who? He said, Bill Ward. I said, I don't know him. He said, Bill Ward. He said, you know Bill. He said, you've spoken to him in here, Bill. That fella had that funny disease. All his hair fell out. Bald-headed fella. I said, well, I can't place him. He said, you can't. Bill Ward. He said, you've spoken to him. The fella with the glass eye. Got a funny eye like that. Looks like you like that. Glass eye, bald head. I said, well, I don't know him. He said, you know him. He said, you spoke to him. He's standing at the bar on Tuesday. Fella with the funny mouth. He's got a funny mouth. Funny mouth. Bald head. I said, well, I think you've got me mixed up. He said, I've not. He said, you played darts in here with him on Tuesday. Fella with the stiff neck. He's got a stiff neck like that. Can't move his neck. Got a funny mouth. Bald head. I said, well, I'm sorry, but I don't know him. He said, you know him. Bill Ward. Great big ump on his back. He's got a stiff neck. Funny mouth. Bald head. I said, well, I don't know him. He said, you do. He said, you played cribbing here with him on Thursday. Fella with the funny hand like that. He's got a funny hand like that. Holds the cards funny. Goes like that. 15-2. 15-4. 2 for a pair. I said, well, I don't know him. He said, you know him. He's got one leg shorter than the other. He might. I said, well, I'm sorry, mate, but I don't know the fella. He said, well, he's dead. I said, what a pity, right in the prime of life, like that. I saw this mate of mine in Leeds last week. I said, what's the matter, Isaac? You look a bit depressed. He said, look at this, Michael. I just found somebody's wage packet here, 32 quid. I said, what are you going to do with it? He said, well, there's no name on it. I'm going to keep it. I said, you found 32 quid? He said, yeah. I said, well, what are you looking so miserable for? He said, look at the tax I've paid. Have you seen that?
Shouldn't make jokes against the Jews. I shouldn't, because one of my best mates is a Jewish salesman. I don't mean he sells Jews. He's not that good. He's Jewish and he's a salesman. And they're clever talkers, aren't they? He sold a milking machine to an Arab farmer who only had 1 cow. He took the cow as deposit. Got the gift of the gab, he has. He's a bit mean, though. He turns the gas out when he wants to turn his bacon over. If he's playing dominoes in a pub, he won't knock in case the waiter comes. What else can you do at Morecambe? They have boat trips out from the end of the pier. You go out for a pleasure cruise for the afternoon. Round Heysham Head they go. They don't come back. They never found anybody who wants to. On the boat, they've got a self-service cafe. That's like getting married, a self-service cafe. You choose what you want, and when you see what your mate's got, you want some of that as well. Shouldn't call marriage. You've got to get married, haven't you? You can't go through life being happy. I got a bowl of soup on this self-service cafe. Vegetable soup, Mr. Stroney, or something. I know it was ninepence. It's nothing to do with it. I just thought I'd tell you. I was up on the deck eating this soup. There's a fella fast asleep in a deck chair. The boat gave a lurch. All my soup in his lap. I was quick. I woke him up. I said, "Do you feel better now?"
This fella joined one of these orders in a monastery to take a vow of silence. And he was in there for 10 years when the head monk came up and said, "There's a concession today, you're allowed to speak. Do you want to say anything?" He said, "Yes." "Is there any chance of an extra spoonful of sugar in the coffee?" He says, "Is that all?" He said, "Yes." So he came back 20 years later. He said, "There's another concession today, you're allowed to speak. Do you want to say anything?" He said, "Yes." "Is there any chance of an extra drop of milk over the cornflakes?" He says, "Is that all?" He said, "Yes." He came back 40 years later. He said, "There's another concession today. Do you want to say anything?" The monk said, "Yes." "I don't think I'm cut out for this life." He said, "I think I'll go to the outside world." The monk says, "Well, I'm glad to hear it, because you've done nothing, only complained from you. Come in here."